Okay, so yesterday, natapos ko sa or what, actually wala na ako natapos ang summary. So, ang questionnaire class, it is a research instrument nga consists of a set of questions or other types of prompts that aims to collect information gikan sa tuang respondents. So, a research questionnaire man gud is typically mixed jud siya sa closed-ended question and open-ended questions like um, what I have discussed yesterday, no, na regarding sa closed-ended and open-ended na questions. So, if we say open-ended, these are long-form questions offer the respondents the ability to elaborate on their thoughts. Diri ang manggod sa open-ended kay kanang kumbaga um, ma ma kuan say tawag ana ha or term kanang maingon kumbaga kung unsang feeling jud sa inyohang respondents no towards the questions or kaya maingon jud nila ang ilang own idea regarding ana nga topic na inyohang gina researchan kumbaga. So, questionnaire examples. So, naatay ginatawag ng mga customer satisfaction questionnaire, nasad tay product use satisfaction, company communication evaluation. Dara na to mostly ginagamit ang mga questionnaire, no, especially on the marketing research na perspective. So, for the customer satisfaction questionnaire, this type of research can be used in any situation where there is an interaction between a customer and even sa organization. Pasensya kayo klase kay ginasipon ko today. So for example, you might send a customer satisfaction survey after someone eats at your restaurant. So you can use this study to determine if your staff is offering excellent customer service ba and a positive overall na experience towards the customers sa inyong restaurant. And then we have the product use satisfaction. So you can use this template to better understand your product's usage, kung sa ang iyahan trend karon sa market, and the trend of the similar products nga naa sa inyong market. So this also allows you to collect customer preferences about the types of product they enjoy or unsa ang ilahang gusto makita sa market. And then company communications evaluation, unlike the product use satisfaction and the customer satisfaction nga questionnaire class, a company communication evaluation manggod looks at internal and even sa external communications. So, it can be used to check if ang inyong policy sa inyong organization are being enforced across the whole organization from top to bottom. So, ang affected in aning company communication are both the employees and even your clients. So, unsa kaya ang mga advantages of a good design? So, first advantages sa good design is, with a survey questionnaire, you can gather a lot of data in less time. So, dili na siya kayo mo consume pa og a lot of time sa inyong side. There is also less chance of any bias regarding sa inyong pag-survey if you have a standard set of questions to be used to your target audience. You can apply mga logic, padulong sa question based on the respondents' answers, but the questionnaire will remain standard for a group of respondents that fall in the same segment. Then, surveying online or using survey software is quick and cost-effective sad siya. It will offer you a rich set of features to design, pwede sad to distribute, and even analyze the response data. And then, It can be customized to reflect your brand voice, but it can be used para ma-reinforce no ang inyong brand image. Then the responses can be compared with the historical data and understand the shift in respondents' choices and experience. And then respondents can answer the questions without revealing their identity. Also, many survey software Manggod class, they comply with significant data security and privacy regulations also. So, unsa ang mga characteristic of good questionnaire? Your survey design class will depend on the type of information na kailangan ninyo and unsa tong dapat ninyo i-collect from your respondents. So, ang qualitative questionnaires, if you will have a qualitative pohon, qualitative questionnaires are used siya when there is a need to collect exploratory information para matabangan mo og prove or disprove ang inyong hypothesis. But on the quantitative questionnaires, it is used to validate or test a previously generated na hypothesis na. But most questionnaires follow essential characteristic. First, the uniformity. Second, exploratory. Then third is the question sequence. So sa uniformity, questionnaires are very useful to collect demographic information, ang ilahang personal opinions, mga facts, or even the attitudes of your respondents. So, one of the most significant attributes of a research form is the uniform design. Maliban sa uniform design, ang iyahang standardization sad. So, every respondent sees the same questions. This helps in data collection and also sa statistical analysis sa inyong data. So, for example, the retail store evaluation questionnaire template, it contains questions for evaluating the retail store experience in inyong customers. Unsa pa ba? Questions that relate to the purchase value, range of option for product selections nila, and even the quality of your merchandise na gina-offer. So, these questions are uniform siya para lang jud sa inyong customers. Kaya mamunta inyong target na mga audiences or the respondents ninyo for your survey, your customers. Then, exploratory. It should be exploratory siya to collect qualitative data. This is for the qualitative. If you are doing a qualitative research, dapat exploratory siya. So, there is no restriction on questions that can be in your questionnaire. So, for example, you use a data collection questionnaire and send it to the female of the household para ma-understand ang iyahang spending or saving habit relative to the household income nila. So, open-ended questions give you more insight, and with the open-ended type of question class, you will allow your respondents to explain their practices towards the ilahang spending and saving na habit. So, with the open-ended, mabalaan nimo kung unsa tong ilahang steps or ways paunsa sila mag-spend and paunsa sila mag-save. Kay dili naman kumbaga wala naman sila ginahatagan og choices or option kung unsa lang tong dapat nila i-answer dito as inyong questionnaire. Open-ended, open siya for explanation and for a broad answer na inyong makuha for such questions. And then, question sequence, it typically follows a structured flow of questions para ma-increase ang number of responses. So, this sequence this sequence of questions is screening your questions, no? So naatay mga warm up questions, mga sa tong magiging transition sa inyong questions, nabay dapat i-skip na questions, nabay mga challenging na questions dito or the classification of your questions jud mismo. So for example, our motivation and buying experience questionnaire template covers initial demographic questions and then ask for time spent in a particular section sa isa ka tindahan and unsa ang magiging rationale behind silahang purchases sa sa imuhang tindahan on the specific nga section sa isa ka store. Then types of questionnaire na atay ginatawag na structured questionnaires and unstructured questionnaires. So sa structured questionnaire, we will collect here the quantitative na data pag structured. So ato ang questionnaire diri is planned siya and designed para mo gather og mga precise nga information It also initiates a formal inquiry, supplements data. Then, we will be checking the previously accumulated mga data if natin makita sa internet and will help us validate any prior na mga hypothesis na nabuhat na. And then, sa unstructured questionnaire, sa kung man dyan siya ginagamit sa qualitative data, they use a basic structure and some branching ng mga questions, but nothing that limits the responses sa ilahang respondents. So, the questions are open-ended to collect specific data from the participants. So, natay mga different types of questions in a questionnaire. So, we have open-ended, mga dichotomous. If we say an open-ended, mao ni siya ang mga respondents sa to diri can answer in a free form with little to no restrictions ilahang pagtubag sa tuang question. Sa dichotomous, mostly diri kay ang ma-answer lang diri kay yes or no. Naalang siya duha ka choices na pilian, yes or no. Then multiple choice questions, these are a close-ended question type in which ang mga respondents ninyo has to select one or single select sa sa ilang mga questions or responses from a given list of options. So, nana sa inyo if you will use dichotomous or multiple choice. Then, we also have the scaling questions. These questions are based siya on the principle of 4 measurement scale, natay nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio na na-discuss na nato on our past reports. So, a few of the question type that utilizes these scales fundamental properties are the rank order question, semantic, differential scale, staple, or staple, scale question, and lastly is the Likert nga scale questions. Then, napod tayo ginatawag actually class nga pictorial questions. So, kani siya nga question type is easy lang siya gamiton and will encourage your respondents to answer. It works similarly sa multiple choice question, but respondents here are asked a question and the answer choices are images. Kaysa sa word ang ilahang makita, ang ilahang choices diri kay image. Katong Likert kay katong murag bar ang ilang scale or katong kuan god mag-rate sila from 1 to 5. That is the Likert also. Ang katong sa murag channel mao na siya ang kuan katong sa semantic. Semantic kay naka-horizontal ang semantic. Katong na ay shading, katong example nako na murag sa TV volume. Kada ba yung mga pasabot, Kevin?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm. Sa kuan to siya sa semantic differential katong sa horizontal like nga kuan scaling. Ang sa Likert kay mo na siya to mag-rate katong mag-rate ka og kuan from 1 to 5 mura siya og kuan ba tawag anay ka ng usaya siya nga kuan ha kanang marag
Pataas, ma'am.
dili siya pataas kanang naa siya yung middle na marag usaya siya na mostly nga kuan strongly agree tapos moderate then um ay dili pataas ang kuan ang Likert from 1 to 5 jud you have to rate the kuan nga from 1 to 5 ang sa kuan ang sa Likert kay mao man na sa inyong ginagamit sa kuan sa thesis niyo pohon if you will be using or making a survey questionnaire sa inyong kuan you will be using a Likert type of scaling. And then, after sa pictorial questions, naasad tayo mga types of questionnaire based ilahan pausa nato sila i-distribute na tayo mga online questionnaire. So, mao man ni siya to ang gamito no ang online questionnaire sa Google Form napod tay telephone questionnaire, mga in-house questionnaire or even mail na questionnaire. Then, unsa ang mga steps nga ma-involve in questionnaire design? Identify the scope of research, keep it simple, ask only one question at a time if you are doing an open-ended type of question. Then, ang inyong mga options dapat sa inyong questionnaire dapat flexible. Then, the open-ended or closed-ended question is a tough choice dun, no? And dapat it is also dapat essential siya to know your audience. Then you have to choose the right tool para sa inyong questionnaire. And then I'll be posting this sa inyong GC kung unsa ang difference between for a while lang GC. Ano siya ang difference between the questionnaire and the survey. So sa interview, yesterday, interview is widely used siya like sa election method, no? Or a face-to-face interaction between your interviewee and your interviewer. So, if handled carefully ang interview class, it can be a powerful technique in having accurate na information of the interviewee. Otherwise, dili siya available. So, at the same time, if the interview is not handled carefully, it can be a source na sa magiging bias. So, this is restricting or distorting the flow of communication, no, if mishandled ang pag-interview ninyo. As you can see sa mga time na to karon daghan kayo mga biases na mga events on the interview nga aspect. So, unsang mga objectives sa interview? So, first, you have to, it will verify the information obtained through application form and test. It will also help obtain additional na information from the applicant otherwise not available, gives the candidate unnecessary facts and information about the job and also sa organization or about sa inyong gina-research or gina-studyhan. Then it will also help to establish a mutual understanding between the company and also will build the company's image, no? So natin yung mga different types of interviews. We have the preliminary interview, pattern interview, mga depth interview, stress interview. Then sa preliminary interview, this is conducted um, to screen your kung ano mga respondents to decide whether a further detailed interview will be required ba or delete na. So, the candidate is given freedom by giving details during the interview to decide whether they like to proceed to the next interview or not. We also have the pattern interview. So, in this interview, the pattern of the interview is decided siya in advance. What kind of information is to be given, how the interview is to be conducted, and how much time is to be allotted sa interview na mahitabo. Sa pattern interview, remember lang ninyo that it is an advanced nga nabuhatan na kumbaga or given na kumbagang information kung sa itong mga supposed na mahitabo sa interview. Then sa depth interview, it tries to portray the interviewee in depth and also in detail. So, it covers the life history ba sa inyong gina-interview along with his mga details sa iyahang life and bisan unsa like the hobby, the attitude, the interest of your respondents diri kay kuan na kanang literal na in-depth jud ang pag interview sa iyaha. So expectedly diri as a depth interview involves more time and money in conducting the interview. Then we have the stress interview. Such interviews are conducted for the job which are to be performed under stressful na mga conditions. So this is applicable sa kuano kanang mga people that are looking for employment. The limitations of the interview. Interviewers may not have a clearly defined technique developed, so this will result in lack of validity sa ilang evaluation sa ilang respondents. There is always variation in offering scoring points to the candidate by the interviewers. Then interview can help judge the personality of the candidate but not his ability. Then a single characteristic sa inyong respondents found out on the basis of interview may affect the judgment of the interviewer on other qualities sa iyahang respondents. Ang tawag ing ani nga effect is the halo effect. Then there will be a biases of interviewers. Okay? Lalo na pag open-ended type of questions sa ilang ginahatag. Then interview is a time-consuming and also expensive device of selection. Okay, so I think that is all the summary for the questionnaire and interview na aspect. Please ko Lopez start your report.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you pa.